more than 5 years, Army Sergeant Bowe Bergdahl is back in the U.S. today. Where he is headed now and what could come next with his controversial return.
After years of planning, the final touches are being done on the brand new Metro Green Line. When you can ride, how much it'll cost you, and what you'll need to know for the big day tomorrow.
And we had the full moon overnight. Still is full out there. I'll let you know how rare a full moon on Friday the 13th is and when we'll see the next one. It can be a long time, Chris.
First, we want to get you right to a developing story out of Anoka County where 16 rail cars have derailed, forcing the North Star commuter rail service to cancel service for the day today. Let's get right to Naomi Peskovitz, who's in the newsroom this morning. Naomi.
Well, Chris, the main impact here today will be on any North Star passengers. Metro Transit tells us if you were planning on riding a North Star train today, you should find another way to get where you need to go. We're taking you to a live look now at that scene from our photographer. He's been out there all morning long. You can see some of those trains in the middle just off of the track, some of those cars. Now, there is some heavy equipment there now to move the engine, some other parts of the train so that they can actually get to the derailed cars and get those moving. Obviously very heavy. We know that they were empty though, nothing hazardous inside. Media is being asked to move back so trucks can make their way in to get those cars off of the tracks. Now, this is between Ramsey and Elk River. It happened just before 3 this morning. BNSF tells us 16 cars involved here. Again, all of them empty, nothing hazardous inside. You can see some of the crews there in their orange vests starting to get this work moving because, again, all North Star traffic is closed for today because of this, because these freight trains actually share a track with North Star. So when they're derailed, they're blocking what would normally be on those tracks, which is the North Star trains. Again, you can see that heavy equipment going in there now to hopefully remove some of those cars as soon as they can. Now, they tell us they will have another update for us this afternoon on whether or not they'll be able to run this weekend. We also want to let you know that they do have some replacement bus service, though. It won't be enough to handle all the passengers, so those buses will not be running on schedule. If you need to ride one today, go to our website. We've listed all the bus changes there for you. Back to you guys.
All right, Naomi, thank you. Want to get over now to meteorologist Ken Barlow talking about this all-important Friday leading into the weekend.
And it's beautiful. Can't get any more opposite than it was yesterday, guys. Yesterday, cloudy, gloomy, pretty much all day till late. Today, anything but. Sunshine all day. We're starting out at 52 degrees. You head out the door. How about 74, 75 degrees for that barbecue after work, the trip up north? It's going to be beautiful there, too. It won't last, as you might expect, just in time for the weekend. Showers and thunderstorms in the forecast, Jess. I'll have all the details coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Ken, thank you. And now we want to talk about the traffic situation out there, Josie.
Hi, Jess. A couple of new hassles this morning, but overall, it's still a good picture out there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map, and you'll see that there's still plenty of green now. 35W in the North Metro. It's getting a little bit heavy, as it does each morning right around this time. Highway 10 down to 694. 35E from Egan into St. Paul looks pretty good. Just a little tightening as you get closer to downtown St. Paul. We're hitting a snag in the South Metro. Let's check out the camera here for 169. This is northbound at 101. Looks like they're almost into that left lane. A lot of flashing lights. Tow truck on scene, so that's going to quickly back things up. Different story as you head into the closure on South 169 at Bren Road. There's just a few vehicles exiting there this morning, so it's still a pretty good drive as you make your way around that detour. And we'll continue to monitor some of these building traffic levels, Jess and Chris.
All right, Josie, thanks. Well, just more than 4 hours ago, Army Sergeant Bowe Bergdahl landed back on American soil after more than 5 years as a Taliban captive.
Bergdahl was flown into San Antonio around 2 o'clock this morning. And within the past hour, we did get some new video into the newsroom of Sergeant Bergdahl's return. Here's a look. Media was kept back from the base here, but this is the plane that we're told he was on. This is where he was taken, the Brooke Army Medical Center. This is in San Antonio. It's at this hospital where he's expected to get more treatment and then reunite with family at some point. Now, we know that Bergdahl will not get quite the same welcome home as most POWs do. The nation is still very divided on his release, some calling him a deserter. Now, we also know this morning that the Army has not yet started an investigation into the circumstances of Bowe Bergdahl's capture. Developing this morning, the crisis continues in Iraq. Less than 3 years after pulling U.S. troops out, President Obama is weighing new military options. However, putting American troops back on the ground is not one of those options right now. Instead, the president is calling on the international community to help. Yesterday, some new smartphone video, which appears to show Islamic extremists parading through the northern Iraqi city of Mosul in vehicles that were taken from Iraqi soldiers. Iran has already dispatched more than 100 fighters to try and help the Iraqi government.
The World Cup continues today. Yesterday marked the start to the soccer championships, with 3 billion people tuning in to watch the opening ceremony in Brazil. Today, Spain will face off against the Netherlands. But some of the excitement is being marred by protests. Yesterday, a group of World Cup demonstrators blocked a busy subway, protesting the high costs of this tournament.
Back here at home, we are now just one day away from the opening of the brand new Metro Green Line, and the preparations are in full swing.
To get us up to speed, our Steve Patterson joins us live now from the Raymond Station platform in St. Paul. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, guys. By the way, it is just absolutely gorgeous out here. I know that the folks with Metro Transit are hoping for a really nice weekend, too, because they think they could see as many as tens of thousands of people getting out this weekend just to test it. You know what? Our Josh Rosenthal got on one of these trains. He got to test it. We'll show you a little bit of a video that he got inside of the trains. This is very, very exciting. This is going to be stretching, connecting Minneapolis and St. Paul. It's 11 miles long, which a lot of people are excited about what it will connect. The businesses along the route, obviously very excited about that. As I mentioned, let's look at the fares. It is free this weekend. Everybody coming out. That's why they're expecting tens of thousands of people. After that, they will transition to their regular fares, which are the same as the Blue Line. $1.75 during off-peak hours, $2.25 during rush hours. So that's how much it will cost. Do you want to know how long it's going to take? Here's what travel time would look like. Should be about 2 minutes in between stops. And they say that if you get on in one end, you get on in Minneapolis, you exit St. Paul, between the two should take 40 minutes. And I'm just throwing out all sorts of kind of trivia at you guys this morning. The total distance is going to be 11 miles. There are 23 stops in between, and they say that should be about 2 minutes in between each of those stops. We've seen them coming through. They've tested a lot of trains so far this morning. And again, tomorrow, a lot of festivities. You don't see much around us right now, but tomorrow, all around the surrounding area at Raymond Station and 8 other stations, they will have almost like a mini street fair of sorts. They'll just be turning this into kind of a party atmosphere. So a lot of folks are very excited. And your final piece of fun fact trivia about the Green Line, since I've just been cramming all morning, learning all that I can, they're ditching fluorescent light bulbs. Can't we all come together and be glad about that? No more fluorescent light bulbs. They're going to be all LED bulbs. So everybody will be in less of a bad mood, because we all know that fluorescent lights cause 90% of people's bad moods, right? Is that right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's totally right, Steve.
I think it's right. I don't know.
I'm going to believe it. Let's go with it. All right, during the testing process for the Green Line, Metro Transit dealt with at least 4 different accidents. The latest happened just on Sunday. And with that in mind, officials want drivers and pedestrians to be as safe as possible, of course. They remind you that trains can come on any track at any time and from either direction. They move faster than they appear, and they can't stop as quickly as a car. Also, light rail trains are fairly quiet, so you have to listen for those horns and those warning bells as well.
So, is the $957 million project worth it to you? Do you plan to use a new light rail line? Later today on 5 Eyewitness News, we have exclusive survey numbers asking what you think about the new line and its use for you in the Metro.
The Minnesota couple accused of bilking the Minnesota welfare system out of hundreds of thousands of dollars is expected to be back in court again today. Colin and Andrea Chisholm are scheduled for a hearing this afternoon in Hennepin County. The couple was arrested back in April.
This morning, a man from Savage is facing charges in the death of a woman's unborn baby. Police say that he caused a crash and left the scene. 30-year-old Eric Healy is accused of causing a 2-car crash in Prior Lake on May 31st. Tam Hung Johnson was driving to work just minutes from home when police say Healy ran a stoplight, hitting Hung Johnson. She lost her 5-month-old unborn child in that accident.
I and my husband waiting the baby and no baby boy. But I don't understand what happened with me. I don't understand.
Police say that they found an open bottle of rum in Healy's pickup. He faces up to 10 years behind bars if he's found guilty.
A convicted killer recently questioned in the connection with the disappearance of Jacob Wetterling died in prison. 83-year-old Delbert Huber was found yesterday. He was serving a sentence at the state prison in Faribault for the 2011 murder of an Albertville man. Investigators interviewed Huber back in 1989 when Jacob Wetterling was abducted. They interviewed him again then recently after looking at assaults in Paynesville around the time of Jacob's abduction.
6:39's the time. Do you think this is spooky or do you think it is spectacular? Here's an early morning shot of our full moon on this Friday the 13th. Our photographer Jeff Ernewine shot this video from St. Paul this morning. It is called a honeymoon. It is called a strawberry moon. These are both proper if you want to, if you're at the water cooler today at work and you want to really wow your friends with some facts. And we're not going to see another one like this on Friday the 13th, you know, basically in any of our lifetimes.
A very long time. Very long time. Yeah, you mentioned it's called the honeymoon, the strawberry moon. Depending on what you want to call it, it's up for debate. You can call it whatever you want. We won't see another one around here until 2049.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how unusual it is. We had one back in 2010. I don't remember that, but we did on Friday the 13th, the full moon. And now it looks like we'll get another one. Oh, in about, how many years is that? Well,
2049. Do the math, one of us journalists here.
35.
You're not going to be alive in 2049? Come on, you're not that old.
You'll only be 76 or something. Aren't you 58?
I'm 40, whatever.
Oh.
But you look good.
6:41 is our time. It's 52 degrees
Thank you,
out
Ken.
there this morning.
Traffic could soon be flowing in another direction in one part of Minneapolis. What's happening and how it's all tied to development.
And it is an icon, and now the Schmidt Brewery sign will reach a milestone this weekend. The facelift coming up.